Around the country, provinces are gearing up for their matriculation exams. But in KZN, the class of 2022 has had additional hurdles to overcome. The province is still battling to recover from last year's devastating floods. eNCA's Nqobile Madlala is visiting various schools in the province to find out their state of readiness. Nqobile, good morning. What exactly are some of those schools saying around the readiness for the matriculation or the matric exams?
Wampundo, I suppose there's quite a lot of concerns because of those hurdles that quite a number of schools have had to deal with. But on top of that, we have seen also load shedding, which has also exacerbated some of the situations. But of course, to unpack this, I've got Satu, who is going to give us an idea in terms of what really is happening on the ground. Numarashia, if you can just give us an idea in terms of, we know that the MEC is going to be speaking today in terms of readiness, but do you feel the schools are ready as Satu?
Schools are partially ready. They are fully ready in terms of teachers having completed their tasks and learners being taught everything. But we all know that this class of 2022 is the most disadvantaged class. When they were doing grade 10, there were many learning losses as a result of COVID. When they were doing grade 11, again having missed some of the work in grade 10, then there was looting and those disturbances, and in KZN you know that there were some closures even at that time. So this year again there were floods in KZN affecting many schools. So yes, they are preparing for their exams, but in terms of their mental readiness, psychologically, they've been affected a lot. They do need some support. But also the issue of the floods, we had learners that had to be moving to the community halls to be accommodated with many people there, and there were lesson losses. We even intervened ourselves as SAT at areas like Kwandengezi, where we allowed learners through giving them mobile classes so that they can continue to study. Those learners are still there. Some of them were doing grade 12 and in other areas. So we just want to hear what the MEC has to say in terms of giving confidence and support to these learners.
And I mean, talking about that confidence and support, do you feel that the department has done its part in this case?
The challenges that we are faced with are challenges like issue of COVID, the issue of the floods. No one ever prepared for it. Natural disaster and a pandemic that just came in. So it was a founder-finder situation, but the department did try working with the stakeholders at that time and continuing to do so. But we felt that more needed to be done, and that is why for us it was important for government to ensure that in everything that can affect these learners, but spare them from load shedding.
So tell me, are those some of the areas that you would like to see MEC Mbali Fraser just talking about those issues and maybe unpacking them, and how can they address them?
Exactly, that is what we are hoping for. But also we do want to hear the MEC also addressing one of the challenges that we've been faced with even in the past and previous examinations of community members in different areas. When they have concerns, they then decide to block roads, which then disturbs the collection and submission of the papers, thereby ensuring that learners are affected in one way or another. As a politician, we expect him, and as a leader, to also talk to those people to say, despite of the challenges that they may have and complaints that they might have, but if they can make sure that they move away from schools, they find other ways of raising their concerns instead of blocking entrance to schools, because it ends up affecting their children.
And lastly, we know that you're not going to be there, of course, because you're on your way out, you're traveling. But what are sort of concerns that you have raised with the department so far, Satu?
One of the things that we have raised, of course, is this one of load shedding. But secondly, is to say continuing with the examinations, because for us it's not about writing the paper and then you are done. These learners will be writing up to early December, so they need to be supported. The department must continue with the support that is necessary to these learners, even during after hours, in fact, as well as during weekends, so that they are supported. The department has been running what we call camps during the holidays. We don't think that was enough. That is why we feel they must continue supporting. But for them to do that, they have to engage teachers so that teachers are also assisted in reaching to those schools to assist learners now, ensuring that they fully revise the work they've done since the beginning of the year.
Thank you very much. Well, that's SARTU spokesperson here in KwaZulu-Natal. I think Fundo very clearly put there's quite a number of issues that these learners are going to be facing. But SARTU is saying that one of those issues shouldn't be load shedding, and that's what they want the MEC to also focus on.